Hey y'all, you want to know a secret? We all live the same life. Well, sort of. Sit down with us as we discuss various topics regarding being married millennials, where your spouse is both your best friend and your pain in the, well, you know. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Married to Millennials podcast, where we talk about life, love, and all the in-betweens. How you like that, huh?
I love
It's a
that
Mishi
intro.
takeover.
I see.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Let me find out you
Still on your
better
job.
intro than
Yeah.
me. Okay. Yeah, she might be doing the intro from now on.
Today's episode is really special to me because I am able to interview someone who means the world to me, my husband, and more importantly, the father of my children.
Oh.
In honor of Father's Day, I want to sit down and just ask you a little bit about your journey through fatherhood, the joys, the challenges, and everything in between. But before we get to that,
Okay.
I have a
Uh-oh.
couple of dad jokes for you.
Oh gosh. All right. What you got?
Did you hear about the circus fire?
No.
It was intense.
Oh.
You like that one?
I do. I like that one.
I got another one.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Why don't skeletons, Mr. Chiropractor,
Mm-hmm.
fight each other?
I'm gonna try to figure this one out.
Okay.
Why do skeletons not fight each other?
Dr. Tuck, tell me.
Because they're not bad to the bones?
They don't have the guts.
Oh my god. These are getting better and better. Please tell me you have more.
I do.
Oh
I have
God.
more. You know,
Okay.
I love a
Yes.
good dad joke.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear about the guy who got hit in the head with a can of soda?
No.
He was just lucky it was a soft drink.
Yo. In the world. I was not expecting this.
I love them. I love them. What do you
Oh,
call?
you got more.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
got
you
him
got
in
plenty.
the arsenal.
All right. Let me hear
What do you call a lot of men waiting to get haircuts?
it.
Oh, you have a guess?
A lineup.
Barbecue.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ah,
Yep.
I love it.
Okay, you
I'm
ready?
saving it. Oh, wait.
There's
Okay.
more.
Yes. All right. Got it. Let's
I
go.
couldn't choose one,
No, I
so
see.
I have
All right.
yeah.
What you got?
I went to buy some camouflage pants, but guess what?
What?
I couldn't find any.
Because they were camouflage. I thought you was about to hit me with the guess what potato like Caden, but no, I like that better. He's gonna hear some of these and he's gonna steal them. You know that. He's a little comedian.
Okay, here's my last one.
All
Okay,
right, let me hear it.
what do you call a beehive without any exit?
Ooh, I'm gonna try to figure this one out. Hold on. What do you
Take
call
your
a
time.
beehive with any exit without any exit? I give up.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god. Even the delivery. Oh, uh, that remind me of the little what was that, a rat or something like that on Cat Dog? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yes. That was you know what? You know what's funny? You always had the dad jokes for sure.
I
Like you
love dad
always have
jokes.
them.
It's so appropriate.
It is. It's yes, it is. It's
Appropriate.
appropriate for this time
Yeah.
for sure. Oh man, thank you for that laugh. Oh my god.
Well, you make us laugh. You're not the stand-up comedian, but
I,
you make us
okay.
laugh on a daily. So I
Okay.
figured I'd return the favor.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Laughter's good for the soul for sure.
Okay. All right. So first things first, I'm gonna
Okay.
ask you this question because I think you asked this to me as
Mhm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the moment you found out you were going to be a dad? What was going through your mind?
When I found out that I was going to be a dad, well, for one, joy. I was very excited when we found out. I can't remember exactly how you told me, but it was. So I think what happened was you told me that you were pregnant. You did. I can't remember exactly how you told me, but I paused for a minute, and the pause wasn't the greatest response in the world.
Yeah, I remember.
It was a pause, but it was a pause more of like in the moment. I was like, wow, like not like I wasn't ready, but like, wow, this is this is happening. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I wanted. But I disconnected and I forgot that you even said anything. So I'm just in my own little world, like taking it all in. And then I kind of come back to, and I'm like, you standing there, oh, no. I'm happy. Please believe I'm
Like,
happy.
say something.
Right. So, like I said, it was something that I've always wanted. But like at the time, it came and I didn't really know how to react. Y'all know how I am with reacting to situations, i.e. the engagements. So yeah,
Oh
so
yeah.
I was at a loss for words. I'll say that, but I was very happy. And then, like as soon as it happened, I just started daydreaming
Yeah.
about how it was gonna be. Didn't
Yeah.
know if it was boy or girl, but I was just happy that
Yeah.
we were pregnant.
Yeah. But so when you think about daydreaming and you think
Hmm.
about, just being like, wow, I'm about to be a dad,
Hmm.
like, what would have been your biggest fear at that time about becoming a dad?
Financial stability,
Mm,
just because of what has been instilled in me for like my whole life about men taking care of the family.
yeah.
At the time, I didn't have the ideal job, but I had a job. But
Well, you were still in school when we found out. Yeah.
yes, I thought you were talking about the very first time.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
very first
Yeah.
time I
Yeah.
was working, but it wasn't ain't
Yeah.
no coins. But okay, well we'll talk about the time with towards the pregnancy with Caden and Carson. I immediately thought about financial stability there as well too, because
Yeah.
I didn't have a job. I was coming out like my last tail end of school. And I think we even had a conversation about that. I was like, okay, yeah. So the baby will be here before I graduate. So it'll be about 6 months. Clinic, no problem. I can work. He was like,
Nope.
absolutely not. You had to put the brakes on me again. But like that was one of the first things that just kind of popped in my mind. I'm like, how are we going to provide for him and different things like that? So that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah. How would you describe your parenting style with Kaden and Callie Ray in
Mm,
3 words?
mm. In 3 words, excuse my French, but soft as hell. I am a soft dad, and is in certain situations, it's a good thing that I'm a soft dad because like they're very sensitive right now. But then when I need to be stern, well, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna give an example.
Yep.
Especially when I need to be stern, sometimes they don't receive it as well because it's like, oh, you're the fun dad. Why are you
Yeah.
disciplining me?
Yeah.
Perfect
Callie Ray
example.
does not
Yes,
understand it.
she does not. I was telling her something the other day, and I said, "Hey, you need to stop." She started laughing, and I was like, oh, "Okay, now I really need to stop my foot down."
Yeah, but though when you get even more stern though, then she starts pouting.
Yeah, she does, and then it turns to crying. So I'm like, I'm trying to find that happy, like middle ground with her
There
when it
will be
comes to that.
none.
It won't be one. Okay, got you. I'm glad you told me that.
Well,
I wanted to get my hopes.
speaking of that though,
Yeah.
what do you consider the hardest parenting moment you've had so far with the two of them? And what'd you learn from it?
The hardest parenting moment. That's a great question.
Yeah, no, I should have gave you my notes,
No.
huh?
Yeah, we're good. No, we're good. I like it on the fly. I always put you on the fly. So let me yeah, I think so I'll start with the hardest parenting moment with Caden. It was a time, so I don't think you were with us. I think it was just me and him. And I had to discipline him in public. But that whole day, I've been kind of letting them slide. Like, hey, Katie, you need to chill out. You need to chill out. I think the same thing happened with Calorie as well too. Hey, I told you. But like doing that, they go, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen.
Yep.
But then when I finally did something, I think it was just the smallest thing too. I think I might have thumped him. I said, hey, stop it.
Oh yeah.
This boy cried like bloody murder in the middle of the store. And I was like, oh man, I didn't even thump him that hard. I was like, okay. I was like, hey, it's okay. I was, Daddy was just trying to tell you to, calm down. I just couldn't calm him down. So he's just crying. So I'm like, all right, we just got to get out here because this ain't a good look. So that was my hardest moment with Caden. With Calorie, it was kind of similar. You were with me this time. We were in Target, and I told her, I said, "Hey, stop throwing that out of the cart," because I was tired of
Oh
picking
yeah.
it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was tired of picking it up, and I said, "Hey, you need to hold on to this. I'm tired of picking it up. You don't need to be throwing stuff out of the cart." And then we got out in the parking lot, and she threw it on the ground again, and I popped her hand. And as soon as I popped her hand, I said, this is not the right place or the right time for that. This should
Yeah.
have been a talking to. So it's just like those mistakes right there that just I still play it through my head because I'm thinking to myself like I could have handled that a lot better. But like for me, I can change it. But for her and for him, that was a moment that they remember.
Yeah.
So a lot of times after I do that, I'll talk to them. Even though I discipline them, I'll talk to them and say, "Hey, Daddy really wasn't happy how you were acting. I'm not saying that I'm mad at you. I'm just mad at how you were acting at the time." And then tell them that the reason why. So a lot of times I try to explain the reason why I did stuff because I know me and I know you as well too.
Yep.
There were times you got a whooping and you're like, "Oh shoot, what was that for?" Like,
Yeah. I didn't
and it
even think it
was
was that
I
bad.
didn't either. So it was more of like
Did I say?
exactly what I do to you, but it's
Who
more
hurt you?
exactly. So it's like one of those things. Like if they know why, they can learn from it instead of
Yeah.
going, "Well, let me not make mom or dad that mad again."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. No,
it's one
that's a
thing.
good point. That's a good point. Well, we all know that you are the fun dad,
Of
right? Like,
course.
so
What?
you're
All
the fun
day.
dad. It's a lot of chaos in our house
Uh
when it
huh.
comes to that. So, what do you think is the most hilarious or chaotic dad moment you had?
Ooh, the funniest dad moment was it's always when we're like playing and being silly, different things like that. And I remember it was Callie Ray. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was like the tone that she used, and it was almost like both of them. Let me just tell, both our kids act like they're in a '90s sitcom,
Yeah,
but
they
like
have
both,
sidebars.
they do have sidebars, and it's like it's so funny. Oh, it was Callie Ray. She said, "I did something," and then she was like, "I wasn't expecting that," and it was like she got a little catchphrase. Like both of them have
Oh, I
their own
wasn't
little.
expecting that.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes. And it's almost like she's like the lead character in her own
Uh
sitcom.
huh.
And
Yeah.
like and but the thing because they both think that they're a lead character in their sitcom, they bump heads.
All the
both
time.
both of them think they're the lead role. So it's like it's always that well, I want to do it. I was talking, so it's always that. So it's fun to see like the competition in them. I love that
Yeah.
that spirit in them. But then it's not to the point where it's like, really physical or anything like that,
Yeah.
but just the banter that they have is just hilarious. So I wish people could be like a fly on the wall with just any day
Yeah.
members,
They
really.
are hilarious. They're
Yeah.
they're real fun. What about chaotic?
Ooh, chaotic. It was when you went to New York.
Oh, I was having fun in the concrete jungle.
Oh, let me show you how much fun Mishi was having. The picture that we used for the Hey Mama episode was her in New York. That's how much fun she was having. Kid free, mom's gone mild.
Mom's gone mild. Yeah, not wild.
Right.
Mild.
Living her best life. And I'm over here. I can't remember what days it was, but I know I had to get off early one of the days. And it just threw me all the way off. So I got off early to pick them up. And like, so I don't pick them up on Thursdays. And it was a Thursday. That's what it was. It was a Thursday. I had to pick them up.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize how many times they asked what's for dinner
Ooh
before
yeah.
before I can even
hmm
get in the door. Like before I can even say anything to them.
Overstimulation
Oh
on
my goodness.
steroids.
It was so bad. It was very chaotic in the
Couldn't even get him in
house.
the door.
No, couldn't
Yeah,
get him in the door.
it's my life.
Yeah, of course. So that was last year. Was that last year?
No, that was like two
2
years
years ago.
ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So 2 years ago, so Calorie still like young. So I had to, do everything. Give him a bath, make dinner, make lunch, everything. So it was just a lot on me. I was I would say I was ready for it, but I wasn't prepared. We'll say it like that. So that would probably be the most chaotic time with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking
Home
of,
Alone.
speaking of like being that like superhero dad, while I was gone,
Yeah.
what would you consider your secret dad superpower?
Ooh.
We got some diaper ninjas, some midnight snack masters.
I would probably say my superpower is, huh. So when they were a baby, I can challenge any dad, and
I
I
know what
say
you're about
this
to say.
with my chest. Can't nobody swaddle better than me.
Uh-uh.
Man, listen, them kids used to look like little burritos. I used to swaddle.
Katie used to be like, "Let my arm out." Like he
Yes,
basically looked at you
to
like,
the
"Let it
point,
go."
right? To the point that I had to find out a way to let his arms out and swaddle. So he was in there looking like he was in full Nelson, but he was still, still secure. Yeah, hands down, swaddle, no doubt. That's my thing. Now, as far as I think my other superpower is definitely cheering them up because a lot of times, well, we'll start with Caden first. A lot of times with Caden, he tries to like act like he's mad,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll talk to him and then I'll like say like one little thing and he just like snaps out of it.
Yeah.
But Callie Ray, she's a little bit tougher. She will stay stern for a little bit, but like I know one thing that I can do and it'll just make her laugh and just make her feel a lot better. The other superpower is the placebo effect. Um,
You got a lot of them.
I do.
Okay.
The placebo effect. So they'll say, "Oh, I got a boo boo" or whatever like that, and I'm like, "Listen, band-aids are expensive. I'm not gonna put a band-aid on every single thing." So my superpower with them, I say, "Hey, your body can heal itself. Let's
Oh
just put
yeah.
some shea butter
Mm-hmm.
on it."
Yep. Yep.
So one, the boo boo's covered, and then two, their skin's moisturized. So it's a 2 for 1. And then they go, that feels better.
But
So
they
yeah,
do. They also tell me they'll be like, Mommy, our body can heal itself."
yeah, I'm trying to steal that in them because it can. So yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's my
I
superpower.
love that.
Yeah.
So again, I know you're the fun dad and you take the dad title very, very seriously.
Mhm.
What's one activity or routine with the kids that just fills you up with joy?
It used to be bedtime.
It used to be.
It's for the
That
birds
that was
now.
hard. That came out of your chest.
Oh man, it used to be bedtime. Bedtime used to be fun. Because like they had their routine, like they knew, like, hey, dad's gonna read to them. We're gonna say our prayers. We're gonna get the humidifier going. All those things like that. They didn't want to go sleep no more. So we we still do those routines, and our
They
routine
didn't
now,
want to go to sleep. They just
yeah,
like try to fight it sometimes.
right. Yeah, so that used to be the thing that I enjoyed the most. The now I would say is watching them in sports, watching Caden with his soccer, soon to be other sports as well too, and just seeing the smile on their face, like
Yeah.
because they're having a good time, and I don't know how you feel about it, but like I feel like I wouldn't say I'm somewhat responsible for that joy, but I'm like, hey, I brought you here, so take a little bit
Yeah.
of credit. But yeah,
No,
no,
but you're
just
happy
seeing.
because they're proud of themselves.
Right. And just anytime they do something really good, they always want to come over here and tell us, even if it's in the middle of the game or in the middle of practice. They
Yeah.
still want to tell us.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, that would definitely be my moment.
I love that. I love that. So thinking about like sports and stuff, because you played a little bit when you were younger.
A little bit
A
to
little
be
bit, a little bit,
enough to be
a
dangerous.
little bit. Is there anything that you do now as a dad
hmm
that, Charles T, your own father,
hmm
used to do with you?
Mm. With Caden, there was a time where because of scheduling, I wouldn't do our haircut on the same day. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, I can just take him the same day. Cause like my dad used to take me the same day. We used to, well, a little bit different when he took me before there was no appointment. So it was literally almost an all day thing. But
Yeah.
like now it's like that time because, there's been times where you say, hey, you should take Caden by yourself, take Calorie by yourself one time. But like every 2 weeks, like that's our thing. Like we go get haircuts and like the so if you don't know, it's of course the guys know when you get a haircut, you just turn into a whole different person. It's just a different feeling, and like to see his face, like to know,
They like
like,
to go gallivanting around the city.
listen, we do not. We just make sure y'all, we need to go to the grocery store or something like that. And y'all might be hungry, so we'll bring y'all
Mm-hmm.
something. We'll cook a little
Mm-hmm.
breakfast or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, but no, just to see his face, like like he'll look in the mirror, like he knows it, like looks good. And I used to do the same thing when I was little as well too, when we used to go get haircuts. So that was one thing I like that I really look forward to with my dad. So I want to do the same thing for Kaden.
I love it.
As far as Callie Ray, I think one thing, and I don't know if it was with me or if with, yeah, no, it was with me as well too. So at Callie Ray, one thing that my dad used to do with me. So my dad used to say like these little things. I don't think he even remembers he used to say them, but just things that just kind of stick in my head. Like I'll say, not necessarily. I guess they were really more affirmations.
Yeah.
He would say like little things like it was more of along the lines of kind of respecting yourself
Yeah.
in certain situations. Respect yourself and be a leader and not worry about what other people have going on because my upbringing, I was in a neighborhood that, a lot of kids were getting in trouble. They kind of sheltered me a little bit to make sure I didn't,
Mm-hmm.
play with them too much. But like just making sure that I wasn't putting myself in a situation that I wasn't either comfortable with or I didn't want to see what the outcome was.
Mm.
Just kind of saying those little things. And even though it was when I was very little, it still stuck with me when I got
Yeah.
older. It wasn't a scare tactic. It was more of like, hey, think about the next step of what could happen if you were there at that time. So I kind of do the same thing with them in school. Their behavior, I say, hey, don't follow behind somebody who's, yelling and doing things that they shouldn't be doing. You be a leader. You say it to them as well too
Yeah.
about integrity, like doing the right thing even when nobody's looking or
When no
things
one
like that.
else is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think it's super important for our kids to understand that they are leaders in their own
hmm
right. So I love that you continue to instill that in them. So tell me about it. Like, if you had a friend coming to you and saying, like, I'm about to be a dad and listen, I'm freaking out.
hmm
What advice would you give him?
I would probably tell him that there's gonna be a lot more of those freakouts. I'm be completely honest with you,
Yeah, that's
but
real.
the difference is the end reward is so much sweeter than those freakouts. Just seeing your kids grow up and seeing them hit different milestones is so like rewarding that those freakouts that you're having or you feeling like you're not doing good as a dad, just to be honest with you, just your existence alone is important. Just you being there. So you just doing that and just learning along the way, that's gonna be golden. And I would tell him that it does get better as they get older, but the times that you're learning are gonna be precious as well too.
Yeah,
And just live in the moment, really.
yeah, yeah. Time goes by fast.
Sure does. Oh man,
Yeah.
crazy.
So speaking of that, I mean, Kaden is now 5, going on 6, about to enter kindergarten.
Right.
Cal
5 going on 25. Oh
Callie
man.
Ray's 3, going on 33.
Right.
And just it's growing. They're growing,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
crazy. So I want you to take some time
Mhm.
and just like you had me do, I want you to basically write a letter out loud to
Mm.
them.
Mhm.
Just whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
just spilling your heart to them.
Hmm. Okay. I'll start with Caden. So the first thing, Caden, Thomas Tucker.
Proud
The
of that
first
name.
thing, yeah, I am. I am. The first thing I would like to say is one, if I don't say it enough, words can't even express how proud I am of you. And just watching you grow, seeing how smart you are, man, sometimes smarter than me. Uh, and just your smile, everything about you, I just love. There's really never a moment, only the small moments that I'm upset with you, but there's never a moment that I'm mad at you or don't feel like you're an important piece of my life. I want you to know that everything that you do from now until later on in life, one, I'm proud of. And of course, you're my firstborn. You act just like me. So sometimes I see different things in you. It may seem that I'm coming off hard on you, but I see certain things in you that don't necessarily want to change, but I want to help you kind of navigate through things that I went through when I was a kid. I want you to be able to learn from some of my mistakes and to be able to, one, express yourself fully whenever the time comes. Once again, I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm ready to see you grow.
Mm.
And then there's Callie Ray. Ooh-wee.
Miss Bell.
Miss Bell. Oh my goodness. Callie Ray Bell Tucker. One, just I want to say just how your personality, I'll just say that you have come, this is, now you've come so much into your personality and I love it. I always joke with people and I say, I want to keep that sassiness right at this level where it's at because you're
Turn it
either
down a little
gonna,
bit.
yeah, maybe just a little bit, but either you are gonna run a Fortune 500 company or D block of a jail cell. One of the two. It's going to be great. And people are going to follow behind you because of your aura. Like, you just exude an aura that I just am, one, jealous of, because it's just like really literally your existence alone, people just magnetize to you, and
Yeah.
you're just a great person. I don't want you to ever lose that. I don't want anyone else to tell you to turn it down. You turn it down because you decide that you think that you should, not because someone told you to. And I love you. I love how smart you are. Once again, sometimes smarter than me. But that's what I always want. I want you and your brother to be, one, better than I am, so that you can raise your kids the best that you can as well too.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you.
I do want to take some time though for you to have some space to talk to Carson,
Mm,
the baby boy that didn't get to come home with us,
mm,
because I know that he still lives in your heart and you think about him often. So I want to give you some time to just share your thoughts on that too.
mm-hmm. Well, first, I want to say that the times that I've said in other episodes, Carson, the times that I've told on this episode that I daydreamed about you and Caden doing different things with each other, growing, I still have those same daydreams. You may not be here physically, but you're in all of our hearts. I think about you constantly. I think about when Caden does something, I say, oh man, Carson would be so proud of him. But I know that you're watching down on us, watching our family, making sure that we're good, making sure we stay together, because you are the other piece to this puzzle. And I will forever say your name. I will forever include you in the count. I will never let Caden forget who you are. I will never let anyone forget who you are. I will correct them anytime that I hear that they don't say your name, because you are a part of this family. And I never got to really have my peace at the hospital because things were just happening so fast. But even though I never met you, I know who you are. I know your personality. I know how you would have been. And I think about that constantly. But I know that, like I said, you're watching over us, over this family, making sure that we're good, making sure that we stay together. And I love you.
Thanks, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being open and honest and just you. I appreciate that. I love watching you be a father. Honestly, that's one of the greatest joys of my life because I know how lucky our kids are to have you.
Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you.
So, to all the amazing fathers listening, we see you, we honor you, and we appreciate you. Happy Father's Day from our family to yours.
All right. Talk to y'all later. What's up, family? Did you enjoy the episode? Well, great. Show some love. Follow us on the Married to Millennials podcast YouTube channel. Follow us on every major platform for podcasts. And if you really want to tap in, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at M2M Podcast. Let's go.